Let's make an ecological pyramid. Today we're going to be living life on the wild side because we're going to be making a pyramid without using graph paper. The first thing that you're going to do is you need to create your x-axis. Once you've created your x-axis, you're going to eyeball the middle point, and that will be 0. Since we're making a pyramid, you want to have each half equal. That way you have a nice kind of even base. The next thing that you're going to do is you need to determine what your scale is going to be. So what is each little section going to represent? So I'm going to eyeball even kind of intervals. Then what I need to do is I need to look at my data. So the largest set of data I have is 15,000, meaning I need to be able to graph 15,000 as my, as my first base. Since ground plants, that's your producer, meaning that's part of your first trophic level. That's going to be the base of our ecological pyramid. The next thing that you need to do is you need to divide this value by 2. So you're going to divide the largest value by 2 because that is how much you need to be able to fit on one half of your graph. So half of 15,000 is 7,500, meaning I need to be able to fit 7,500 within these intervals. So logically, I'm just going to pick 2,500. So that means from here to here, that represents 2,500. That means from here to here, that would be 5,000. Then here to here would be 7,500. Here to here would be 10,000. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So 2,500, 5,000, 7,500, and then 10,000. My title at the bottom would be kilojoules. And if you recall, that is a unit for energy. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be making we're going to be drawing our first part of our pyramid, which is the first trophic level. So ground plants have 15,000 kilojoules. So 15,000, half of 15,000 is 7,500. So that's about here. The other half would be here. And that's my first part. And that there would be my ground plants. 15,000 kilojoules. That's done. Next, grasshoppers, 1,500 kilojoules. So half of 1,500 is 750. So you can eyeball that and guesstimate it to be around there. And that would be grasshoppers. And that's 1,500 kilojoules. Then the next thing, we've got frogs, so that's 150 kilojoules. That means you need to be able to illustrate 75 on one side and 75 on the other. So I'm just going to make it like that. There we've got our frogs, and that's 150 kilojoules. And the last one, which is our hawks, and that's 50. So realistically, something like that. Hawks, that's 50 kilojoules. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to come up with a title for our graph. So the title for our graph would be Pyramid of Energy. And what you should notice is that it illustrates the 10% rule. So only 10% of energy is actually transferred from one trophic level to the other. Now the next thing you need to do in order to get the full marks for this is you need to fully label your ecological pyramid. This here is your first trophic level. Here we've got our second trophic level, followed by the third trophic level, followed by your fourth trophic level. This here would also be a producer. This here is our primary consumer. Frogs are secondary consumers. And the hawks are the tertiary consumers. And if you make sure that you have all of this key information as part of your ecological pyramid, then you know that you're going to get the full mark. So you need your title, you need your labels, and then also your proper scale, and then all of your data illustrated appropriately.